Okay, Greg Inglis has been charged with drink driving in New South Wales. This came on the day after he was named, or the day he was named, sorry, the new Australia captain, replacing Cameron Smith. This season, he's had a great comeback season. He's been named Queensland captain for State of Origin. He's now being named the Australia captain for the Kangaroos, going into the end of season Test matches against New Zealand and Tonga. And his comeback story has been great from a serious knee injury, and then because he was out injured, he got very depressed, and he had to seek help for mental health as well as recovering from his knee injury. His career was threatened last season with prematurely ending. He's only 31. I thought he was older, but he's only 31. He's had a great season for the Rabbitohs, but he's the second Rabbitohs player in space of a couple of weeks to have off-field dramas. Sam Burgess has been involved in a sleazy sex scandal, sexting controversy, and now Greg Inglis has been done for drink driving. There is a problem though within rugby league. Now, Greg Inglis is from the Aboriginal Indigenous community. There is an issue within that community with drink and drug misuse, and until this point, Greg Inglis could have, should have been, and was a role model for staying away from the drink and drug culture that is ruining the lives of so many young Aboriginal men. However, this is a difficult moment. How will he recover from this, and can he go on to again be a positive role model for young Aboriginal men in Australia? Second point, the sport itself, rugby league itself, has this drink and drug culture. He's not the first player to be done drink driving. Zach Hardacre, who has been banned for cocaine, is coming back from that ban. Has now been done for drink driving himself over here in the Super League. We've had a multitude of players have various issues with alcohol. Todd Carney, for example, just putting him out there. How many times does he have to be arrested for drink-related incidents? It's a sport that has an issue with alcohol. It's a sport that also has issue with recreational drug use as well, as highlighted by Zach Hardacre. But you look at the Tompkins brothers who were playing for Wigan at the beginning of the season, and some of the issues they're drunken incidents earlier in the season. This is a sport that has to tackle these issues seriously. And if a star player like Greg Inglis gets caught out, that should be a wake-up call to the sport, both in Australia, New Zealand, and in Europe, that there is a big issue at play here, and it seems to be sleeping on it because it doesn't matter if you're a star player or if you're a journeyman player. It should not matter. This issue needs to be tackled. And he could face jail time. I don't know the Australian legal system. It's very similar to the UK legal system, but there are differences. He's got a court appearance on the 22nd of November to attend. It's very similar to Hugo Lloris, the Tottenham goalkeeper, when he got caught for drink driving, if you follow the English Premier League. Most likely he'll get hit with a driving ban as a minimum and a fine. He could face a suspended sentence or a custodial sentence. That is the seriousness of what he's facing. So we shall see what happens. But he's a star player within the sport. He's a superstar within the sport. And this should be a watershed moment for the NRL, the Super League, and Rugby League in general to go, hang on a second, we need to tackle this issue now. Because this is a sport that's got a lot of issues. It's got a lot of positives as well, but it's got a hell of a lot of issues across the world. And alcohol and drug use recreational drug use are part of the problems and the issues that the sport is facing and needs to confront and needs to tackle. And if they can use Greg Inglis in a positive way, where he can give a message to inspiring young players to say, don't do this, and if he can, take a positive step out of this, which is difficult to say because I'm normally exceptionally critical of high-paid sportsmen who do things like this. And yes, I have lost a bit of respect for Greg Inglis because he's in a position of responsibility in the sense that he's a role model for a community that has an issue with alcohol and drug use and crime, and he's been a success out of that community. But at the same time, he's also exceptionally well paid, and he's a role model for all young kids who are interested in rugby league, who are fans of rugby league. He's inspired fans of the Melbourne Storm. Young kids to play the game in Melbourne. He's now a Sydney Rabbitohs player, so he's inspiring young kids in South Sydney to play the game. this doesn't look good, and it's an image issue for the sport. But I'm going to leave that there. Place your thoughts on the Greg Inglis drink drive charge. I know the legal system in Australia is different to here in the UK, and I don't do that many NRL videos anymore. Partly because the lack of coverage of the NRL is readily available here in the UK. It's very hard to get your hands on NRL games, and they try to make it hard as possible to access possibly the best rugby league you can get. I always say the NRL is better than Super League now, and the quality gap is there, and it's hard to get hold of it. But this story is big news. I think it overshadows Billy Slater's retirement as well, which star player retiring, another star player's career is in jeopardy because of this. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Place your thoughts below on the whole situation, and I'll have some more videos for you soon.